Hello and welcome to the latest episode of the Racing Podblast with me, Tony Mack, and Ben Aiken from Narrowing the Field. And we're off to Newbury this week on the pod, covering 3 races from their Saturday card with the big race of the weekend, the Betfair. One of our 3 races under focus, and then, as always, off to our travels to Scotland, Football Trixie, top, middle and bottom. But it's welcome along, everyone. It's racing first, and to Newbury, starting with the 1:30, the serial winners Handicap Hurdle. Ben, welcome along, mate, and you can start us off with that one.
Morning, Tony. Yeah, the 1:30 Newbury Class 3 Handicap. I have a short list for this one of Young Butler, Wise Guy, Equinus and Kintara. Young Butler, he's having a second start for Harry Derham in this. He won over 3 mile 1 in Newbury last time out as a Class 2 race, so he's dropping back in class here. Harry Derham, doing well at the minute. He also has some solid stats with his last time out winners, especially those that start at 7 to 1 or less. With those types, he's 12 wins and 6 places from 25 qualifiers. It's almost a 50% strike rate. Pulls in over 22 points profit, so there are definite positives there for Young Butler. Wise Guy, he reverts back to hurdles here after what I'm assuming is an aborted chasing campaign now. And Nicky Henderson does have some decent stats with his hurdlers at Newbury under similar circumstances. If you look at Henderson in Newbury Class 3 or 4 handicap hurdles, over 2 mile 3 to 3 mile 1. During the February to April period, and with geldings age 6 or older, he is 9 wins and 5 placed efforts from 26 runners. 35% win strike rate, 54% win and place strike rate, but 82 points profit. So you can get a few big price ones sneaking in under those conditions. Wise Guy, he is still an unexposed type as well. He's only had the 8 career starts. Equinus, he was running at Class 2 level in his last 2 starts. Maybe find that company a little too hot. So this dip back into Class 3, I think, will be a positive for him. We could see an improved effort from Equinus in this. And Kintara, the other on my short list, he's moved from the Kim Bailey yard to the Mel Rowley yard over the summer. His new trainer sent him straight into handicap hurdles. And he's been rewarded instantly. He's won his first 2 starts, and then going down by less than a length in a Class 2 at Warwick last time out. A mistake at the last costing him victory in that one. He looks a strong stayer, one that also handles plenty cut underfoot, so the deteriorating conditions will be ideal for him. And Kintara is where my money is going to go in this one. I like the Rowley Deutsch partnership in handicaps. They've got a 64% win and place strike rate in handicaps, and hopefully those stats will be boosted further with a big run from Kintara. What you got, Tony?
I've got Kintara as well, mate. I'm with you on that one. Missed out on a hat-trick of wins at Warwick, finishing 2nd of 8 over 3 mile 1 furlong. As you say, Charlie Deutsch seems to be getting on well with Kintara after the geldings moved from Kim Bailey. So, I think it's more to do with Charlie Deutsch and riding rather than David Bass, to be honest with you. But Kintara, for me, I marked that down as 6 to 1. It's just flashed up 5 to 1 now. So, money as we speak for Kintara. The G.A. Henty, who's well fancied as well. 3 race maiden by Milan out of a presenting mare. Looks a bit lazy to me, looking at the replays. Whether he's still learning at 7, I don't know, but he wouldn't be for me, even though he pops up on the short list. And also American Sniper, 3 from 13 over hurdles. He's placed at this venue as well as soft ground. But bits and bobs of worry for me. They're more negatives than positives, I think, for American Sniper. So Kintara and Equinus, as you mentioned there as well, around 10 to 1, 2 from 9 over hurdles, well held in a couple of Class 2 contests this term, but won a Class 3 event at Aintree in October. And placed here, he's been placed here, he's won on soft. Both career wins have come left-handed and not out of the first 3 in 3 starts in Class 3 contests. Equinus at around 10s and Kintara, if you can get an each-way price, on that for me in the 130. 240 at Newbury, Game Spirit Chase, Grade 2 over 2 miles and half a furlong. Ben, what's your fancy here?
Yeah, Game Spirit, just the 6 runners going to post here. No surprise, so it's now the 12th year in a row there's been no more than 6 runners in the race. But in fairness, it's a decent enough bunch lining up this year. Funambule Savola turns up this year looking for his 3rd Game Spirit victory. He's won the last 2 renewals, not actually won since he landed the race last season. Newbury is a track he loves. His chase form at the track is 3 wins and a 2nd from 4 starts. And he does have his prime conditions to shoot for again. At grade 2 level and below, fields of 8 or less, and tracks with some sort of undulations, he is 7 wins and a place from 10 starts. But is he as good as he once was? Probably not. Will he get an easy lead in this like he did the last 2 years? I'd say almost certainly not. If he is ever going to bounce back to form again, Funambule Savola, I think it will likely be in this race. Probably not for me this year, though. Edwardstone currently sits at the head of the market. I don't think he's really looked the same horse since he unseated in the Desert Orchid Chase in 2022. He's a bit hard to figure out right now. Don't think the recent rain will have been a benefit to him either, so I'm inclined to take him on at tight odds. Boot Hill, he's a horse I like. I think he was already looking beaten when he fell at Kempton last time out, though. I'm not 100% convinced he's a graded horse. He could be, but I'm not convinced enough to be taken around 2-1 for him. Calico, I'm pretty sure, is not a graded player. Wrong at the weights with most of them here as well. I think it'd be quite something for him to be landing this off the back of being beaten in a Class 2 handicap off a mark of 142 last time out. Amarillo Sky, also wouldn't have him as a graded player, and it'd be serious effort to be landing this on his first start for almost 400 days. Which kind of leaves me staring at Editor de Gite, who ran a stinker last time out at Cheltenham in the rearranged Clarence House Chase. The reach for first-time cheek pieces here with him. If they spark him in a bit of life, then he does have conditions to suit. At grade 2 level or less, and off breaks of 70 days or less, and over trips shorter than 2 mile 1, 6 wins from 9. So he can do it under these conditions. Niall Houlihan and Gary Moore, they also have some decent-looking stats in Newbury chases and hurdles over 2 mile 1 or shorter, in fields of 11 or less. There are 8 wins and a place from 14 runners under those conditions. And I am going to take a tentative swing at Editor de Gite here, but at least a bit of a bugger of a race, I thought. Tony, what do you think for the Game Spirit?
Yeah, I wasn't happy doing the research on it as well, but I'm with you on Editor de Gite as well. First time cheek piece is interesting. I don't think he did anything wrong at Cheltenham last month when he was last of 5. It's just he's not up to grade 1 level anymore, but he showed he was still up to grade 2 level winning the Desert Orchid back in December. They're beating Noob Negra by 3 lengths as 5-1. So I'll be with Editor de Gite tomorrow with you, hopefully getting an each way price on it. And I think Funambule Savola, I think it's a bit of an insult, is 10-1. I think he can come back to a little bit of form. He is obviously, as you said, Ben, he hasn't won since this race, winning this race for the second time last year, off a £10 higher mark as well. He's come down £10. And I just think, obviously, I think this will be the target to try and win a hat-trick of these. Obviously, you won't have the pace as last year, looking at the GG's pace angles as well on ggs.co.uk. But Venetia Williams trained, obviously Charlie Deutsch, they're in good form, and I think Funambule Savola can possibly hit the frame. Obviously, there's only 2 places up for grabs tomorrow with 6 runners, but I think there's a bit of an insult having double figures at the moment, even though he is badly out of form. But I'll be certainly looking at Editor de Gite tomorrow as well. 3:15 at Newbury is the Betfair Hurdle Class 1 race over 2 miles and half a furlong. Ben, it's the big one. What do you fancy in the Betfair Hurdle?
Yeah, nice and chunky 24 runner field to get stuck into, as is often the case with a race of this nature. A longish sort of short list, which is, tell her the name, Iberico Lord, Norman Fletcher, Alvany Origny Mill, and Ito Dito. Tell her the name. One of many unexposed types in here. He's won 2 of his 4 hurdle starts to date, makes his handicap debut in this. And he's one I actually have down as an exciting chase prospect for next season. And I'm guessing Ben Pauling must be thinking the same, hence why he's fired him into a handicap like this at this stage of his career. If all goes to plan, they'll probably be aiming him at graded novice chases next season. So they may as well try and make use of his unexposed and probably well handicapped nature in this. Can't help but notice, though, that he's run right-handed 3 times, recorded 2 wins and a no second. And on his one try left-handed, he ran poorly and finished pulled up. Now, might not have been the left-handed track that caused the pull-up. It's a niggle for me, though, for now anyway. But I do like to tell her the name, but just a niggle on the track. Iberico Lord started the season in fine form by winning the Great Wood Hurdle. Failed to fire next time at Ascot. He finished 7th of 9. Probably excusing the effort, though, is that it was running good ground in his best form to date. From limited evidence, admittedly, its best form has come on soft and heavy ground, so he could well bounce back to form here. Iberico Lord on the softer ground. Norman Fletcher for the Twiston Davies team. Now, he's one that definitely interests me. Norman Fletcher, he's shown consistent form throughout his 9-race career so far, and he also fits the profile of the 3 previous Twiston Davies winners of this race. Now, the trainer's won this 3 times since 2014. All 3 of his winners had 7 to 10 previous career starts, 0 or 1 previous handicap hurdle starts, and finished 1st, 2nd, or 3rd in a hurdle race at Class 3 level or above last time out. Now, Twiston Davies has sent 4 horses to the race with that profile. They finished 4th, 1st, and 1st. So I think he could well have been planning this raid with Norman Fletcher from some way out, hopefully. Albany, now he's one of the Willie Mullins riders, yet to win the race in 19 attempts, although he has gone close a couple of times. He sends 3 this year, one of them currently the reserve. And Albany is by far the one with the strangest profile. Indeed, we covered him on the pod before when he ran at Wetherby in November. And we questioned what he's up to with the horse then. And now I'm thinking, is this what he's been planning all along? It still looks an odd one. His last 2 starts has been beaten in a Class 3 handicap at Wetherby, a Class 4 novice hurdle at Market Racing, and they were over 2 mile 3 and 2 mile 6. Those runs came after he won a 2 mile Galway maiden very easily in September. He's been off since the Wetherby run. So he's returning here off a 98 daybreak, back down a trip, and this is actually the only trip he's ever won over, incidentally. They removed the hoodie he wore last time out, and then things are muddied further by the booking of Brian A. Frost, which is only the 4th time he has ever booked Brian A. Frost. So there's plenty going on with the horse, and none of it makes any sense. but has this been the plan all along? I guess we'll see soon enough, Tony. But it's Albany. He's one of those, like, I don't know what's going on with it, but the plan will come to fruition at some point. Another 2 on my shortlist. You've got Origny Mill and Ito Ditto. They're both last time out winners, stepping up in grade. Could be interesting shouts for the places at decent odds. So it's a race, plenty to chew over, but I am going to side with Norman Fletcher. I think he looks big at around 25 to 1, especially with 5 and 6 places on offer. So Norman Fletcher for me.
Good lad.
What have you got for this one?
He's got 3 in the race as well, hasn't he, Mullins? Which is quite interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's got only a matter of time. He's got Albany and Castle Demottes as well, which is the most fancied one.
Yeah, I think one's a reserve, so I don't know if it's going to get in.
Ah, right. So, Albany, that's fascinating, isn't it? I mean,
I don't know what he's doing with it, and we've said this before.
Yeah, and that one that run at Wetherby was the only one he had sent over, unless I have no idea.
I wonder if he's trying to get a decent mark, as in, look, this is how good this horse is.
Yeah.
Not very good. Don't pump on £10 like you usually do for an Irish rider.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What about Cheltenham?
I don't think he's got an entry for Cheltenham, but I suppose handicaps are not out.
Yeah, the handicaps won't be out yet, I don't think. But blimey, yeah, very interesting, mate. Very interesting. I've come down on Rigney Mill, which is quite interesting, isn't it? Spirit Danu, Altabelli and Alberico Lord. Alberico Lord, 2 from 6 over hurdles, never going last time out. At Ascot, not good right-handed. He's 2 from 3 left-handed, so that might have been an excuse for him. He's a distance winner as well as a soft ground winner. I'll be certainly looking at Alberico Lord tomorrow, looking for an each-way little tickle on that. Altabelli running well in defeat in 3 starts this term, possibly disappointing connections because of how he finished last season. Winning a bumper, then a couple of maiden hurdle, then a novice hurdle at Carlisle, and possibly had high hopes for Altabelli this time round, but he hasn't quite started running yet. But interesting to see Altabelli tomorrow. That's around 8-1. Spirit Danu is obviously an interest with Gary Moore. Caelan Quinn claims £3. That'll be interesting tomorrow, and that's around 14-1. He's coming off the back of a win at a handicap hurdle at Sandown over 2 miles on heavy ground when he beat 9 rivals 3.5 lengths, and that was his. I think it was his 5th win in 6 starts, I think, as well, Spirit Danu. So he's running really well, is Spirit Danu. Distance winner as well. And Rigney Mill as well is interesting, isn't he? From Victor Dartnell. I think if it was from a bigger, more fanciable trainer name, I think he'd be a bit shorter than his 14-1. I'll be certainly interested in how Rigney Mill runs tomorrow, distance winner, and he comes here off the back of 2 wins in December at Wincanton and at Kempton over 2 miles at the Christmas meeting. Handicap hurdle beating 7 rivals 7.5 lengths there at odds of 9-1. So Rigney Mill interests me, Spirit Danu interests me, and Alberico Lord I'll have a little closer look at that tomorrow and get the old gg's.co.uk tomorrow out and have a look at the pace angles once again, and if there's any ground changes as well, looking at GG's tomorrow. Altabelli as well is also on the short list, but I think he may well miss out, and probably looking at Spirit Danu and Alberico Lord tomorrow. That's in the big race, Betfair Hurdle. And shop around for best prices. There's some 7 places with William Hill and Sky Bet at the minute, and 6 places with Paddy Power and Bet365. But shop around for the places there tomorrow. Okay, it is time. It's that time again, the one you've all been waiting for, top, middle and bottom.
The great thing about loving football is you cannot explain why you love it. It just happens. Chasing a ball round a park, wanting one team to win against the other.
El Mahoney, right foot, whips it. Oh, jeez, peeps, man.
Yes, the bit of the pod you've all been waiting for, top, middle and bottom. Before this week's selections, Ben, an update of the current state of my plus or minus.
Before we get on to that, I had a quick look. Cheltenham Festival handicaps, 20th of February. I knew it was soon. That's when the Cheltenham Festival handicaps the entries are. So look out for that.
Yeah.
The Mullins. But anyway, top, middle and bottom, last week's results, 2 out of 3 for both of us. Now, once again, damn TNS stopped me getting a full house, and Stirling Albion couldn't quite hang on against Cove to get you the full house, but you were close, Tony, I tell you, you were close. Both of us came away with profits of plus 1.26. Current totals are me plus 3.4, Tony minus 32.33. This week, Scottish Cup 5th round, so the top section will be from there. Middle and bottom, the same 2 leagues. My top, middle and bottom. Top, Partick Thistle to beat Livingston at 6-4. I think Partick look good for this one. Livingston have only won one of their last 18 matches, losing 14 of them. They've not won away from home in their last 12 matches, losing the last 9 away matches. Partick are unbeaten in the last 7 matches at home. They've won 5 of the last 6 at home. So it is Partick Thistle for me in the top section. Middle, Queen of the South to beat Kelty Hearts at 17-10. Not an easy round to find some value in the first division this week, but I have gone for Queen of the South. I'm not sure Kelty's recent form is good enough to make them favourites for this, and Queen of the South have picked up more points on the road than they have at home this season, so they travel well, and I will take Queen of the South for the away win. At the bottom, East Fife and Stenhousemuir to draw at 23-10. It's been a tight fixture in recent times. Steny have won 2, East Fife have won once, and the other 2 have been draws. Stenhousemuir have only been winning by the odd goal recently, and East Fife have the boost of getting a new manager during the week with the legend that is Dick Campbell taking over. So I will take East Fife to hold the league leaders to a draw here. My top, middle and bottom is... Top, Partick Thistle. Middle, Queen of the South. Bottom, East Fife and Stenhousemuir to draw. Tony, what do you have?
I've got in these... no explanations for me, because I do trying to make it sound like I know what I'm on about, and I clearly don't, given recent results. So I will quickly say, Scottish Cup, Partick to beat Livingston at 6-4. I'm with you there, Ben. Middle, Alloa to beat Stirling at 11-10. And bottom, I'm against you here, Stenhousemuir away at East Fife, 17-20. So Partick to beat Livingston, Alloa to beat Stirling, Stenhousemuir to beat East Fife.
Dick Campbell's East Fife.
Dick Campbell. Many thanks for listening. Latest edition of the Racing Podblast. Very best of luck with your betting at Newbury this week. And I will say on air, thank you very much to Ben for doing the scripts every week as well. That's big help. Remember, if you're in early rising, catch me on Shed Out Radio, weekdays 6 o'clock. And you can catch more from Ben over on nowinthefield.co.uk. Big thanks for listening this week. Cheers, Ben.
Cheers, Tony.
And have a great weekend, everybody.